I recently got this brand new dip net. I've never dip netted for salamanders before, or any aquatic herps for that matter. So I'm gonna try to test it out today and see if I can find anything. But first I actually found this neat little tin site on the side of the road here. So I'm gonna flip this and see if there's anything. Looks like there might be snake eggs under here. It seems to have already hatched. Maybe turtle eggs, I don't know, but no snakes under here. These layers just had a bunch of these green anoles behind it. That was the only one that stood still, but a bunch of them jumped down into here. All right, not much under that tin, so I'm just gonna take a big scoop of this canal and see if anything is under there. I accidentally got some kind of fish, so I just released it back. There's a bunch of insect larvae in this scoop. There's one, two, a couple more dragonfly nymphs. Just got some other kind of fish, no idea what that is. Okay, there's my first success with a herp. Here's some kind of Lithobates tadpole. Not really sure what kind, but just dip netted it in this muck here. Just release it back. All right, we're out dip netting again. Where is it?
Eel. Okay.
We just got an American eel. Not a herp, but still pretty cool. All right, here's this eel in the water. We'll let it go soon. It's pretty cool. All right, just dip netted the first salamander. It seems to be some kind of larval desmog. I'm not too sure. It could be a Eurycia. Either way, very cool. First salamander I've ever dip netted. All right, we're gonna release this unknown salamander.
There we go.
I just dip netted a frog egg mass, probably southern leopard frog. I'll release them and I'm about to head to the next spot. All right, off to the next spot. I just dip netted yet another larval salamander. I think they're actually Eurycia cerigera here. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, this guy just flipped this with his hands. It seems to be a desmog, probably desmog vultos, Carolina swamp dusky salamander.
So it was like, there was like a little log up there and it was like rotting. I flipped it and I just like looked under the leaf litter and pulled them out.
That is so crazy. All right, so here's that first vultos. We actually just got a 3-lined salamander, which is a lifer for me. And here's another vultos. This spot is amazing. What? All right, here's these 3 guys in hand. This is so unbelievable. This 3-line is probably the coolest for me, but these vultos are also really cool. What an amazing day so far. Okay, so this bark area is where the second vultos was. I just flipped this, which wasn't flipped earlier, and there's another one. That's incredible, 3 vultos in the same day, all adults. All right, here's vultos number 4, flipped under leaf litter on dry land, which is so cool. We just got a cricket frog, some kind. Northern and southern are both here. But see if we can get them in hand, probably not. All right, we're gonna release this 3-lined back under the log area I was found. All the duskies are under here now. What a cool find.
We just found this
We just got a common musk turtle, a little stink pot. Awesome, first turtle of the day. All right, we found a taxi earlier, which we already saw, but there's another one way in there. We'll try to get a grab on it. All right, here it is in hand. A little bit bigger than the last one, but this one's a lot more defensive and projectile musked everywhere. You can see the white spots right there. Very cool though. Second taxi of the day. All right, here was the first one. And then here's the second one. Brought them together. That's awesome.
Let me get.
Here's a size reference of these two. This one is just massive, and that's the first one. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna release this first taxi. Blackbird was basking. Hopefully it knows where it's at.
She's a big girl.
I think she knows exactly where she's at.
Yeah.
All right, here's another musk turtle, but this has some kind of weird oil sheen on it. Not really sure what's happening, but I'll just let him go right back here. All right, we got another brown water snake basking over there. We'll just leave it there. All right here, I think I have a lifer. This seems to be a striped mud turtle. It's got some stripes down the back, and it was showing its face a moment ago, but it has a yellow stripe near the eye. Very cool. Lifer turtle for today. All right, here's another taxi just basking out here. Number who knows what for today. All right, here's the other mud turtle species. This is an eastern mud turtle. Doesn't have as pronounced of a stripe on the face, and also no stripes on the back.
Oh, you're right.
I got another taxi right here. Another pretty big one, kind of crusty. Leave it there. All right, here's another taxi. They've been everywhere today. All right, we just got a banded water snake. This is a really pretty one. This is my first banded of the year. Awesome. All right, apparently this box turtle is chilling in the swamp right here. It's completely closed up. That's pretty weird to see one in the swamp. All right, here's the last turtle species we needed to find at this park today. It's a common snapping turtle. Fortunately, it's not doing too well. There's a hole in the bottom of its throat. It seems to have been snagged by fishermen or something here, so we won't stress it out too much and let it go pretty shortly. All right, here's probably the last Cactus phylota of the day. Just chilling on here. So we decided to try this little vernal pool in the middle of the night. We somehow ended up getting a spotted turtle, which are not too common in this area, and this seems to be a female, which I don't see too often. So that is so awesome. Spotted turtle in a new county for me. There's some kind of ambystoma larva here, probably marbled. Anyway, we're gonna release the spotted turtle back into the swamp. All right, this is definitely gonna be the last find of the night. But up there, there's a rough green snake sleeping in the tree in early March, which is kind of cool. We'll just leave it there since it's kind of high up, but what an awesome end to the night. Okay, it looks like we have our second rough green snake of the night. This one's also way up there. I'm not gonna get a better look, but it is indeed a rough green. Looks like we got some gloomy, stormy weather incoming. I'm doing some day cruising. Just got the first herp, a little eastern mud turtle. Went into his shell, but it's pretty cool. Hoping to find a snake today. I'll just let this guy across. Okay, looks like we got a little musk turtle crossing now. He went in his shell. Hello there. Get you across. Right there. Okay, I'm out dip netting again at this random swamp I found. Just got this leaf pack, and in there I just found my lifer many-lined salamander. That is actually so cool. I don't want to keep it out of the water for too long because they're fully aquatic salamanders. At least this one might be a larvae or something because it has the external gills, but that is so cool. Here it is in the light. I don't know if you can see all the striations in the back, but it is definitely a many-lined salamander. I'm actually not too sure if the adults still have external gills. I'll need to check up on that, but either way, this is a super aquatic species of salamander. You can see the external gills right there. That is so cool. All right, I put the salamander back in the water, in the net, so it's secure. Here's a little better look at it. They're so cool. I'm so excited that I finally got this lifer. Here's a much better look at the many lines on the side. You can very clearly see all those striations on the side. That's what gives it its name. The many-lined salamander, Stereochilus marginatus. All right, time to release this lifer salamander.